I decided to redo the financial accounting videos just because I hadn't originally created them in 1080p HD. So this is the first tutorial of the financial accounting series redone, and I just wanted to cover two things. And first one is, what is financial accounting? The second one is, why do we need financial accounting information? So let's cover the first part. And I'm sure you all have a broad sense of what financial accounting is. It has to do with a lot of reporting of figures and information and using this information to make decisions. But I'm going to summarize them, or summarize what financial accounting is, into three steps. First being reporting transactions. So this is actually physically reporting things like how much amortization we'll have for a company car or maybe a company building to show that we've used some of the value of this asset. We might have to show that we issued stock, possibly to raise capital to fund our operations. Maybe we issued a dividend, in which case we'll have to report this as an issuance of a dividend to the owners. Or possibly, what's the last one we can come up with? Something that's good. Maybe wages payable, to record the salaries that we owe to our employees. So these are all different types of transactions and we have to report them. Once we have all these different types of transactions recorded, we summarize all these transactions into financial statements, which give us a broad indication of how the company is performing, what is its position like, so what are the assets, liabilities, equity of the company. It gives us an idea of the cash flows or the liquidity of the company, so are we able to keep up with the expenses of our company to finance our operations? Do we have enough cash to invest in certain projects coming up, and so on. And of course, our profits, we can look, are we retaining these profits in the company or are we redistributing them in a form of dividend to owners? So once we have these financial statements, it'll give us an indication of all these things that I just listed right here. Thirdly, once we have these financial statements, we're going to communicate them to users for decision making. And in the next point, where I'm going to describe why we need financial accounting information, I'm going to touch on why, or some of these different questions that users will have to come to a decision using this financial accounting information. So those are the three steps about what financial accounting essentially is. Let's get into why we need financial accounting information. So remember that I talked about that we have to communicate these to interested users for decision making. So the reason why we provide financial accounting information is so that you get a reliable and relevant picture of some of the cash flows, profits, assets, essentially what the financial statements represent, so that you can make objective decisions. So some users, possibly, let's say maybe a bank needs to decide whether they need to make you a loan, so they can look at your financial statements or your financial accounting information to decide whether you have enough assets for collateral, because they're not going to want to loan you a substantial loan unless you have assets to back that up. So the bank is going to use your financial accounting information to make a decision about a loan. Another might be a personal investor. Maybe they want something like a dividend yield. They're looking for a blue chip stock, and maybe they want something like a 3% dividend. They can look in your financial accounting information, usually in the notes, to check if the dividend yield is something that is desirable enough so that they will invest in your company. So that's another decision that the investor will have to make, which is another type of user. And there's many different types of users, obviously. The CRA or IRS can use your financial accounting information to determine whether there are taxes owing, maybe you are evading taxes, and so on. So all these users have different questions they need to ask about the company, and the financial accounting information provides them with answers. And the reason we can trust all of this financial accounting information is because we have assurance, or reasonable assurance I should say, by auditing companies, public auditing companies, that essentially whatever is in their financial accounting information is really there, or at least 90, 95, 98% of it is actually there, so that there are no large material misstatements. Alright? So that is the reason why we can trust the financial accounting information. And of course, there are some exceptions, like Arthur Andersen and Enron, but that is for a separate tutorial for sure. And I don't want to delve into that in this tutorial. So that essentially what financial accounting is and why we need financial accounting information. So make sure to subscribe like always, and if you have any questions, leave them below in the comments. Alright? Okay. See you guys in the next one.